What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is iRacing Prototype GT Challenge Fixed Series by popular demand. We are in the Corvette here at Sebring. Thank you for selecting this combination because this is an awesome combination. I love the Corvette. I love Sebring. It's a win-win. So, we're starting third or fourth. I didn't qualify. That should tell you something. So, yeah. And this guy next to me, he's an HPD driver, driving the Corvette by accident.
Good luck. Having fun.
He says he's only driven a couple laps here. I'm kind of worried. So that's going to be interesting, and of course we're always going to have the.
You're only actually racing the prototypes. You're not racing the GTs and the Corvettes.
And then we also have to consider the fact that we're probably going to have HPDs that are slower than we are. And they're wrecking.
What the fuck?
Okay, that was interesting. This guy in first, I know he's a regular in the Open Series in the Corvette, so he's a pretty good driver. I just kind of hopped into this car. This is the first time I've driven it in a race all season. Haven't driven it since week 13 a month ago. Unfortunately, the starts are always kind of a mess in the Solar Class cars because you usually end up starting in the middle of a corner, which, for example, there, you're talking about Sunset Bend, a really bumpy corner, really hard to put the power down, especially on a restart when everybody's trying to get a position and everything, make it up while they can. It's very easy to get into an incident, so there's really no reason to not wait until the straightaway. That would be what you would do in any other class. I don't see why it's so difficult to understand, if you ask me. I personally take the stance of you should respect the car's positioning going into the start. I mean, if a guy turned a lap that got him the pole, he deserves to start from the front end, rather than, oh hey, the green light's out, I can just go ahead and pass them all. And it looks like the entire Corvette field is done. Except for me and this other guy. Why is there an HPD perpendicular to the flow of traffic? I love it, guys. I love it. I love that corner in this car.
Hold together, Matthew. I'm not going to do anything stupid down here.
Yeah, I heard those words before. But guys, let's see how many HPDs we can stay in front of. This will be interesting. This guy is going ridiculously slow. Lots of damage. Hopefully he stays on his side of the road. Well, we did have a pretty big grid in the Corvettes. Keyword is did. Hopefully this guy just doesn't vanish like it looks like he's going to do. Not really a huge fan of the fixed setup in this car. These brakes are really far forward. If you look down, it's 64.5 front brake bias, which when I was driving the Corvette last season, I was running 61. And since the update, it actually allowed you to run a little bit more rearward bias. So I was running like 59 in week 13, which was the last time I had driven this car, and that's really where I was quite comfortable. Yeah, I'm not letting you by. You're gonna have to actually go around, okay, buddy? I'm actually surprised that there's actually HPD still in front of us, to be perfectly honest. These brakes are just killing me. I have zero confidence at all in them.
That was a nice pass in turn one, Patrick.
Oh, man. Really wish I had someone to actually, you know, race with in this race. But the fixed races are so popular. That they are. Well, at least you'll get to see me relearn a circuit in this car, given that I haven't driven here for a while in the Corvette. Hey, look, I locked my front tire. That guy really is gone. I just can't. I don't have the practice in this car on this track. I still can't believe there's actually HPDs still running. I thought sure enough they'd all crash and burn by now, to be perfectly honest. And that's usually what happens. Torque! Yeah! I just love how you can put this car in third gear and just go. Well, looks like we caught up the car in front a little bit. I see you kind of had some issues with traffic as those HPDs came out of the pits. Plus, as I reacclimate myself to the circuit in this car. just have no confidence with this setup at all. Ain't that the joys of fixed setup racing, guys? You just have to deal with whatever crap they give you. Because, you know, going into the garage and making 3 clicks of adjustment would be really difficult. I don't have time for that. Anyway, seeing how this race is going to be a snooze fest, it looks like. Let's talk a little bit about fixed series and the issue within. Yeah, as you can probably guess, I'm not a fan of the fixed series. I think the whole entire concept is pretty dang silly, to be perfectly honest. And the only reason I am racing in it is 100% because of YouTube, making videos for you guys. That way you guys enjoy it and, you know, share the fun and all that good stuff. The fun that is racing with absolutely nobody, because half the field can't even make it through. Well, actually, half the field didn't even get to turn 1. Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. It seriously is. You know, but there's this mentality that exists, and every time this topic comes up on the forums, it kind of makes me laugh, because every single time you get the fixed series defense force, every freaking time. Oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to make a setup. You know, I don't have time to do this. They're basically saying I don't have time to practice, which is the truth. And that is why they shouldn't race. I mean, honestly, if you can't practice, if you can't even survive turn 0, you shouldn't race. You're not ready. You know, if you can't take the time to make 3 clicks of adjustments to make the car actually better rather than driving the crap that they give you, you don't deserve to race. You know, people say, oh, well, the race car drivers in the real world don't know how to set up the cars. Okay, yeah, they don't. But I can guarantee you they know what, you know, stiffening the front roll bars will do. I mean, that's a basic thing. That's not difficult. You know, they know basic things like that. You don't need to get all into black art, especially here on the, you know, road side of things. It's really simple. I mean, pretty much any setup will be pretty much decent. You know, it really does come to driver. You know, is this guy in front of me beating me because he has a better setup? No, it's because he's a better driver. He knows what he's doing. He can wheel it around this place. But yet, people choose to blame setups and their inability to create setups and test out setup changes. So they just run to the fixed series. And it's not really all that hard to see that most of these drivers that are defending the fixed series oh so much, these guys have like 1,500 I ratings. You know, these guys are guys that are not fast. Okay? That's what it is. Why are they not fast? Because they don't practice. It's like, you know what? Yeah, on the oval side of things, setups make a huge difference. They really do. But at the same time, the fixed setups now are so good that it makes me wonder why you even need a fixed setup series. You don't need to spend time tweaking things. Now, I could literally drive 2 laps around here and instantly be like, oh hey, you know what? This brake bias is totally off. I need to stiffen the rear roll bars, soften the front a little bit, and be done with it. 15 seconds after 1 lap, and I have my setup and I'm good to go. Is that difficult? Is that too time consuming? Heck, I could do it in warm-up. I mean, it does not take a rocket scientist to see the quality of drivers in the fixed series is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. And it's the same way on the oval side of things as well. I don't know. It's just a silly, stupid reasoning. Oh, I don't have time. When the reality is, it takes you more time to get used to a crap setup than a setup that you actually like. Like, I could drive this car all day, and I still would not be used to the terrible freaking brakes that they have on this thing. I mean, the brake bias is that backwards for me. It is absurd. Instead, it's always, oh, just adjust, okay. Because that's not more difficult, more time-consuming than simply changing it, which is what you would do anyways. It's one of those really convenient things where this car actually has a onboard brake bias adjustment. Look at it, I can't even change it. I'm just stuck with this crap. Because they don't have time to make 3 clicks of adjustment. They can't figure out what an adjustment does when here at iRacing they even have tooltips that pop up at the bottom of the screen that tells you precisely what it's going to do. I mean, there is no reason to defend the fixed series anymore. It needs to die. If we had this type of grid in the open series because of the stupid overlap, I'd be happy. Hey, look it, there's another F-bomb. Someone did something stupid again. I mean, yeah, the whole pickup and race thing is great fun and everything and all that stuff, but for a B-class series, which is what this is, or is it C-class? I think it's B-class. But for this type of series, anything above rookie, anything above D-class, it's just, no. You need to practice. You need to actually be able to drive the car. I mean, I'll go ahead and say that I put, about 15 minutes of practice into this, fixed series that I'm running here, and that's it. And I'm going to race. But at the same time, I drove the Corvette for a full season last season. I drove the HPD when it came out. I know how the other cars are going to react around me. I know what's going on. I've literally driven every car in this series for a season, It's no surprise or anything. I can handle myself. I'm not going to be fastest. I'm not going to keep up with this guy. He's literally driving the Corvette this season. He's been driving the Corvette this season. He's more familiar with the way the Corvette is this season. He's more practice up, and you know what? He deserves to win. He's the better driver. It's that simple. But instead, the fixed setup mentality, once again, oh, if this was an open race, his setup's better. It's just stupid, guys. There's no reason for a field to not even exist before turn 1. I mean, that's the sad thing. That guy behind me at the start, he was just like, oh, hey, I gotta go. Green flag's out. I'm just going to stick my car way up the inside. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, in that situation, yes, the green flag is out. That means go racing. But at the same time, you're in Sunset Bend, okay? Just get through the corner, and then we can start racing. We can get up to racing speed, okay? It's not a difficult thing to understand. There's a time and place, and that really wasn't it. And because of that, this is now the most boring race ever. And you get to listen to me rant about why the fixed series sucks, as I'm not even like actually trying to drive fast anymore. I'm just going around in circles. Fortunately, we only have 5 minutes left, guys.
Thought you were going to save it though, Thomas.
Oh man, what a joke. What a joke indeed. Good news is, though, at least this is an enjoyable combination to drive, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, it's... I don't know, somewhere along the way, the word fixed became replacement for I don't practice, and that is why the standard of driving is so absurdly low. You know, people say, oh, it's popular, but yeah, okay, it's popular. So is the 5-lap Grand Prix in R Factor, okay. Doesn't mean it's good racing. Does it? I mean, you look at NASCAR, it's popular in the real world. Is it good racing? No, it's boring as can be. It's just boring. You know, you watch something like Hill Climb. Not many people watch Hill Climb. Is it awesome as can be? Hell yeah! But it's not popular, so, you know, who cares, right? Well, nobody cares now that they paved Pikes Peak, but that's a different story for a different time. Just kidding, just kidding. There comes a point where, in my mind, you have to basically say, no, enough is enough. The customer is not necessarily always right. They're always right, except for the fact that sometimes they don't know what they truly want. They think they know what they want, but they don't actually know what they want until you show them what they want. I mean, I guarantee you, if you stuck half the people in this field into a prototype GT open race, they would instantly go, holy crap, this is so much better. Because it legitimately is the best ACO-style endurance racing, quote-unquote. It's not really an endurance race at 65 minutes, but, you know, for sim racing standards, you know, it's a pretty chunky race of time, you know, for like an open server type environment.
Okay, Matthew.
But, you know, it's just that much better. And then you got this series where, I mean, what is this? 10 Corvettes go to the green flag, 2 Corvettes take the green flag because people can't even handle this car. People are driving this car that haven't actually driven it. And I know I mentioned the guy earlier who's an HPD driver. He's pretty dang fast in the HPD. He's really fast in the HPDs. I honestly don't feel all that unsafe with him around me because I know he's good enough to go fast in an HPD. He's probably good enough to at least control the C6R. Maybe not necessarily go fast, it is a completely different thing, but, you know, driving is still driving. Doesn't matter if you're driving a Skip Barber car or a NASCAR Cup car, okay? It's still the same control inputs. You still have your throttle, brake, and clutch, and your steering wheel, and the gear lever. Nothing really changes until you actually get up to speed and on the limit. Hopefully these HPDs don't come up and lap me. Well, I think they're going to get me. Fortunately, I have absolutely nobody around because of the wonderfulness that is at the grid not even showing up to race, basically. Yeah, they're going to take the white flag this lap. I don't know, man. Pretty much everything that is Pro Fixed Series doesn't exist anymore because that's just the way things are. Probably scared that guy behind me. I'll breathe out of it, that way he can pass us. Don't need to hold him up. Hey, that's that guy from last week at Brands Hatch. That I couldn't get around because every time I got near him is because of traffic, and then it just kind of stayed about the same and had nowhere to go. Just remember, kids, before you race a prototype GT Open Series or Fixed Series race, say screw that, man up and race the Open Series. Even if you're running a fixed setup, it's still competitive. It's probably because you're slow. In fact, one of the guys in the race earlier today, this Saturday, day before the Indy 500, Monaco GP, Coke 600, all that goodness. Oh yeah. But he's like, yeah, I'm running the fixed setup still, and he is running pretty respectable lap times. It's not the setup, guys. It's the driver. It's because you suck. It's because you suck, Mr. 1500 iRating, that you are getting curb stomped. It's not because of the setup. Learn to go faster. Practice. Even just a little bit. And if you can't practice, get a different hobby, because this kind of requires practice. I mean, racing is about practice. It really is. We are here to talk about practice, but that's not what we're here to talk about, because this race is over and I am leaving in a hurry. Because yeah, this race absolutely sucked, as boring as can be. Probably gained a little bit of iRating and safety rating and all that good stuff, but it was boring as fudge because half the field died before turn 1.
For any cars that I got into.
So that's that. Next week we're going to Watkins Glen. Make sure you vote for which car I should be driving down below. Bye. God, that was terrible.